Well, good morning. It's good to have all of you here. And we have two items today. We want to begin with Sandy Monfort, who's here to talk about an upcoming seminar. Sandy, come up. Kelly, please. Kelly Biese. Biese. Got it first. All right, very good. Sandy.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity to allow us to come here today and speak. Sandy Monfort and Kelly Biese from Coleman Behavioral Health. We have exciting news about a training that's coming to Lima July 14th. This is the first time we've publicly said this, and we are bringing in an individual from Ohio State University who is a clinical director of addiction medicine. This is a first-time opportunity, to the best of my knowledge, to allow Dr. Brad Lander to come into this area to talk about squirrel logic, which has everything to do with the chemical reaction in the brain for the chronic brain disease for any addiction. So we've been working to orchestrate a place and a time for him. It's July 14th, which is Friday, from 8:30 to 3:30 is the training at Lima Senior High. We wanted to make sure that we had an auditorium size of 400 people so that we would ensure that those that wanted to come could come. We also worked to ensure that it would be a very reasonable rate for any participant to come. Kelly?
Correct. The piece that we really want to emphasize is that it is for the community. In addition to certainly being beneficial for professionals that are in the field, whether that be social workers, school counselors, nurses, doctors, more than anything, we want to educate the community. That was the reason for us keeping the cost as low as $15, where a training of this nature would normally cost upwards of $75 to $100. So Tammy Colon, our chief officer at Coleman Behavioral Health, really wanted to keep it reasonable so community members could attend, especially maybe those that are have a family member that's struggling with addiction or an individual in recovery themselves. This is, we've had the pleasure to hear Dr. Lander speak twice, and his presentation of how he explains addiction and how it impacts the brain really is phenomenal. So this is a training you don't want to miss. This is an opportunity we're very excited to have here.
And if I could add just one more piece. There's no doubt that every family has been impacted by addiction in one way or another. There's no doubt this community also is continuing to improve with a variety of agencies and services for recovery, because we can recover, and we are recovering in this community. One of the greatest steps would ensure that if you've been impacted by the addiction, if you have a family member that's been impacted, if you just want to gain a better understanding of the reason individuals just don't stop in a variety of areas, please come on July 14th. Sorry, Kelly.
So this is, if you're, you often hear family members who are coping with the behaviors of someone who's addicted. This is really intended for that kind of person to really come to a good sense of what's going on in the physiology of the individual.
Absolutely. There's so much that we know now medically that we didn't know so many years ago. That will be explained in such a manner that all of us can understand without having a degree.
Squirrel logic is not a technical term, right?
It is not a technical term.
So why use that title?
Because sometimes we talk about people acting like squirrels, where they in fact just keep going over and over no matter what happens. Whatever the consequences are, that behavior will be repetitive.
Okay.
And in fact, with some of the research that he's done, it literally involves squirrels. Because we don't do a lot of research with regard to the brain of individuals that are alive. And there was a realization through a lot of research several years ago of what could in fact happen when addiction is impacted on squirrels and the brain itself.
So
yes.
Folks need, in order to sign up, folks need to do what?
All you need to do, you can go to the wecarepeople.org website, and there's a link there. You pay at the event, so it's just to register on the website. Or you can also call 567-242-6021. That would be Dorothy Kronk. She's one of our individuals at Coleman that's also handling reservations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've signed up, so I'll be there. So, we also this morning, Star Spangled Spectacular is a short time away, and Ric Stolly is part of the steering committee for that event, and he's going to give us some detail about what's happening.
Thank you, Mayor. Glad to stand in for this year's working chair, Dan McCormick from WLIO. So he couldn't be here this morning. So we are looking forward to the 2017 rendition of the Star Spangled Spectacular. Announcing what we've already announced, but again, remind folks that the major sponsors this year are, of course, the City of Lima, Superior Federal Credit, St. Rita's, your hometown stations, and this year, new is Tom All. We are bringing back some things back to the event. One of the big things we're bringing back is the Fishing Derby, which is sponsored by the Lima Eagles, Area 370. That's going to be, again, at 1 o'clock at the Bear Pit Pond. Something new to the event is the Kewpie Hamburger Eating Contest. That is going to be in its first year. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Who qualifies?
Who qualifies? It's it's one of those things that the committee has gone out to the local football programs and asked those guys to come on down and see just how many Kewpies they can polish off in a specified period of time. So that in itself will bring its own crowd, I'm afraid. But that event is scheduled for 5 p.m., so right around dinner time. So they either, take care of dinner or take care of dinner. You may not want to have dinner after that. But anyways, that event's at 5. This year's headliner for the musical entertainment on the main stage is Brother Believe Me. They are slated for 6 o'clock. Lima Area Concert Band coming on at 8. Live radio broadcast will be on T102 this year from 9:30 to 10:30. And by the way, that hamburger eating contest is going to be done play-by-play, I believe, by Mr. Mike Miller and his sports counterpart, Mr. Todd Walker. Yes, so I think Todd's trying to find a way to get into the contest, but he's going to end up doing the broadcast of it. Then, of course, the fireworks are slated for about 10 o'clock. Again, all this going on at Farout Park, and so we ask you to take a look at the media information going out about parking and about the rest of the schedule. They'll be out there. Kids Rise start at 3 o'clock. We have a Veterans Car Show back this year, also at 3 o'clock. So it's a great time to come out and spend the day at the park. The 5K, again, is slated for 9 a.m. We have our Abilities League baseball game going on at Diamond 2 at 8:30 starting. And then we have our Youth Baseball All-Star game at 3 in the afternoon. And the locals are playing at home that day at 6:05. So a full day. Get out, enjoy it. Bring the family. Bring your friends, and hopefully Mother Nature is going to cooperate with us and provide a terrific day for everyone to enjoy this year's Star Spangled Spectacular.
What is the forecast, by the way?
Forecast is 75, sunny, light breeze out of the west, 7 to 10 knots, and at least that's what we ordered. That's what we ordered. But I think the actual forecast is up for debate because we're still a little ways out. All right? Thank you, Mayor.
Well, we certainly want to thank our sponsors. It's not just the financial involvement that they have with this, but there's an enormous amount of time and energy that's put into organizing it. And it's very much a hands-on event for all the sponsors to participate, and we appreciate all of that. It wouldn't have happened for, this is year 24, so not quite a quarter of a century of having this event in our community, but almost. And it's just truly a terrific day for family to enjoy each other and be. And by the way, I just want to announce I'm a new grandfather this morning. Our daughter Jennifer had a little baby girl about 3 hours ago, so we're very pleased. Unfortunately, she won't be here this year, but next year she'll come and join us for the Star Spangled Spectacular. So with that, I believe that's all we have for today, so we'll break down for interviews. Thank you.